One.
Hello, Thunder, and welcome to Resurrection Voices, also known as Strike Up the Conversation, here at St. Michael High School in the beautiful, shall I say, as I do always, the beautiful Bolton, Ontario. Today we continue with our monthly podcast, and we have two incredible students here with me who will very shortly introduce themselves. And again, why do we do this podcast? Why are we celebrating, or why are we identifying different clubs in our schools? We want to celebrate the many diverse voices and people and students and staff and all the wonderful people here at St. Michael that give up so much of their time and energy to run many extracurriculars and many clubs here at St. Michael. So let's dive right into it. We'll begin our next podcast here with our Eco Council, which is an incredible group. And it is also Earth Week. So we've been doing a lot of wonderful initiatives here at St. Mike's. And if in case you didn't notice, I got my Raptors hat on. Kudos to the Raptors. Great win yesterday. It's now 2-1 with the Cleveland, and we're hoping that we can continue on and tie it up this coming weekend. So let's get started. So why don't we begin first with, and I won't mention your name, start by telling us your name, your grade, maybe some of the clubs you're involved in at St. Mike's, but in particular, Eco Council.
Okay, so hi, I'm Sophia. I'm a grade 11 student here at St. Mike's, and one of the clubs that I am involved in here is Eco Council. Yeah.
My name is Emily. I'm also in grade 11. I'm part of a few clubs, but today I'm here representing Eco Council.
Awesome. So Emily, stay right there with that mic. So what inspires you to get involved in Eco Council? Why Eco Council?
Well, I think I've always just loved the environment and like caring for it because I see nowadays.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You're doing good. You're doing good, Emily. You're doing awesome.
There's like the effects of like global warming and
Yeah.
littering and all of these issues have really come to light.
Cool. Yeah.
I find it really important to stay on top of that and try and manage that for our future.
Awesome. Sophia, you want to add to that? Why Eco Council?
So I think for me, it's always been an interest. I've always had an interest in gardening. So I think I was able to continue that interest through this council through like planting initiatives, and as well as just being like a part of a team where like we can like grow like fresh and sustainable greens to make our school like an entirely like better place.
Cool. In case you didn't know, this is for all our listeners, especially our parents, because I think most of our students know, I hope they do. We're in this would be the greenhouse. Is this right? This is St. Michael's greenhouse. It's funny. It's on the second floor. I've walked by it many times. And now I'm finally in here. So we're finally here in the Eco Council in the greenhouse. And we've got some lighting up top. We've got camera people behind the scenes. We've got the hallway adjacent to our right. So, let us continue on. This is so exciting, and I hope you can see the excitement here. We're really excited about our Eco Council. So tell us a little bit more about Eco Council. This was Earth Week, or we're still celebrating Earth Week. Tell us a little bit about the work you've done this week as a council in terms of Earth Week, some of the activities perhaps.
Sure. Yeah. So this week, it's been entirely focused on Earth Week. We've done a few initiatives every single day. So on Monday, we had a clothing drive. Tuesday, we had bringing like in a waste-free lunch. Wednesday, which was actually Earth Day, was involving like community cleanup. And then Thursday, we had like a battery, marker, and light bulb collection day. And then today, we're trying to like reduce our fuel consumption through like walking or biking to school.
Amazing. Emily, here we'll pass it on to Emily, or Vu as I sometimes call her. Vu, is there, I don't know, how long have you been involved now with Eco Council? How many years?
This is my third year.
Third year,
Yes,
okay.
I joined in grade 9.
Have you had has there been a moment you've been really proud of this group, or a moment that's been very memorable for you, and if you could share that?
I would say this year for our sweater day, to reduce the use of heating, it was really nice to see everybody in like our school and the community just wearing a sweater and even supporting our cause, even if they didn't exactly know what it was for.
That's right. Okay, cool. Do you want to add it all to that?
Sure, yeah. So I'd say that I guess like one of the things like I've enjoyed so far this year would be definitely like planting vegetables here in the greenhouse,
Cool.
I think, and just having the opportunity to watch them grow over the semester. As well as we did earlier this year an eco spotlight on the Great Gulf.
Okay.
Where,
Yes, I remember
yes,
that. Yes, I remember that. Yes.
yeah, where we like encourage students and
Right.
teachers to bring in a reusable water bottle, I guess to help like reduce like plastic waste in our environment.
Cool. So how many members are part of Eco Council? Or roughly, is there like a certain number that will show up? Do you meet often? What does that look like in
I
terms of the
think
club?
honestly, it kind of varies.
Okay.
So, I mean, I guess at the beginning of the year, it started off small and slowly, like, we're growing now as people become,
Cool.
I guess, more aware of the council.
Cool. And who are the teacher leads or the teacher supervisors? Maybe we could do a shout out to those teachers.
Yes, so definitely a shout out to Miss DeFeria and Miss Iozo
Nice.
and Mr. Eusebio. Yeah.
How did you get the 3 nicest teachers in the school? Now, all the other teachers, don't be jealous. I can see Zimba right now yelling and screaming through that screen, right? But no. But these are awesome teachers. Tell us, Emily, we'll go to you next. Tell us a little bit about how they might encourage the group or how they participate and, when you meet, perhaps how they organize you, that sort of stuff.
I think they're always helping us like plan and brainstorm, and well, even in the next month we have 2
Right.
trips coming up.
Oh, okay.
All of that was planned by our teachers. So
Cool.
we're very appreciative of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always bring like apples for the Great Crunch. Yeah.
Cool. And we did have Miss Diaz who was in here just before we started today to set up some of this as well for us. Okay, awesome. Let's leave it with you, Emily. Let's continue on. So, Emily, is there anything that you've learned about yourself, perhaps, while being part of this group? Perhaps working with a team or your own kind of, maybe some gifts you have. Anything that you've learned about yourself while being part of Eco Council?
I think I've really learned that I love planting. Like, I really enjoy
okay.
it. It wasn't something that I ever really thought about beforehand, but now I think having a responsibility for something really makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm doing something, I'm contributing to something.
I love the word responsibility. I feel like we have to go off here on a tangent. I love that word. No, because sometimes people use the same word, but with the word obligation or being forced. But I don't think taking care of our planet is something that we should be forced doing it. I agree with you. I think it's a responsibility. That's a great word. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about that? Because I agree with you 100%. How it is really our responsibility, right?
Because, well, as humans, I think
Right.
we have a responsibility to care for the things we use,
Right.
which includes our planet, of course.
Yes.
So.
That's awesome. Okay, Sophia, back to you. So you mentioned a couple of events still coming up. You excited about it? Why are you excited about it? Why would you be excited about what's coming up? And why should others? Maybe you could talk about how maybe others can join, right? Like maybe we can get other people to join Eco Council. Yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
So no, it's definitely some unique experiences I would say that are coming up. So we have 2 trips that are coming up. The first involves we're traveling to the Peel EcoBuzz Conference Center.
Cool.
And there we're doing some workshops which investigates more about like how we can like reduce climate change. And later into May, we're also traveling to the Courtright Center.
Oh, cool.
Where we're like analyzing like our outdoor habits and identifying like different plant species.
Cool. Back to you, Vu. Let's go back to you. Okay, we're going to have a little bit of fun here. If there was a slogan, catchphrase, something that could describe Eco Council or that you could throw out a word or two and people could be like, what is that all about? Is there anything like that for your group?
I think the slogan that I would say best represents us, it's even on the shirts.
Right.
If you've ever seen that.
Oh, wait, you do have shirts. I forget. What's on there?
Don't panic, it's organic.
Don't panic, it's organic. I like that. What about our crew behind the scenes? What do you guys think? Don't panic, it's organic. Hey, that's pretty good. Okay, that's awesome. I love it. Sophia, if you had to pick, I don't know, a theme song, a team cheer, what would that be like? Or what would that sound like? And this is just totally spontaneous, by the way. But okay, this is all spontaneous here, yeah.
A theme song.
That's a tough one.
That is a good one.
You don't have to have one, but I thought I'd ask, right?
Well, I was thinking also more on like in terms of like another slogan that like adds on to what Eco Council is also all about. Thinking, acting, and sustaining. So I would say that thinking more of like looking into the future of our ecosystem, acting, making changes to help make sure that we can save the environment, positively, and then sustaining, like looking at the long-term impact of it so it can be better for future generations.
You know, you said it very well, and sometimes you hear that you think, oh wow, that's way too big. Like the planet is huge. Like how am I going to make a difference? And I'll tell you how I feel that difference is being made. So on Wednesday this week, I was coming back from a retreat, and as we were coming back, I noticed there were a lot of students outside. This was during period 4. And at first I thought, what are they doing? Why are there so many students outside? Now, it was a warm day. I figured maybe students came out because it was a warm day. But then I noticed people had garbage bags and they were picking up litter. And there were students out on like the main road, like in the ditches, in the banks there. There were people on the sidewalk, on the field. It was so positive, I found. And yeah, I was just so grateful that we would have students and staff that would do that. And then when we did get back to school, I got off the bus. I went up to into the school field, the area there, and there were tons of bags. I couldn't believe how much garbage we collected. Tell us, were you both part of that, and what was that experience like for you, or at least were you part of the creation of that? And I'm not sure if you know how well it went, but it went very well.
Well, absolutely. I think, earlier that day on lunch, I
Right.
had come to the greenhouse and I'd replanted some of the plants,
Cool.
because they were like growing out of their packages that they were in. So, like zucchini, which is like a fast grower too, and
Right,
they need
right.
more space too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the idea of like, again, the community involvement there really emphasizes the idea about teamwork, I'd say, in our council. Everybody just working together to create that positive impact,
Cool.
and which will benefit our school environment like later on.
Awesome. Vu, were you part of that, or were you participating at all, or part of the organizing committee for that?
Well, I was on the same retreat as you.
Oh yeah, that's right, Vu. You were with me. That's right. I didn't even notice. Did you see how proud I was, Vu? Did you notice it?
Yeah, I
was
remember
very proud.
we were coming back on the taxi.
Oh, we were in the.
yeah.
Wait, you were in the taxi with me. At one point, Emily was just gazing outside. I don't know what she was looking at. Maybe she was looking for garbage. I don't know. But yes, you're right. Oh my God, Emily, please continue.
But yeah, no, it was cool to see that
Yeah, it was.
something as small as the Eco Council. There's
Yeah.
not a ton of like core stable members.
Right,
But
right.
there were so many people out there helping.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I found that really interesting.
Cool. If you could, we'll start with you. We'll ask you both the same question. If you could advertise the group or try to get others to join, what would you tell them about it to join? Or what could you say and then hope that they might join?
Well, I think Eco Council, it's something that it improves
Right,
everything.
right.
There's no downsides to it. If you can't come to a meeting, that's okay. We can catch you up. It's
Cool.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
So the door's always open, right? We're not going to turn people away, right? Even if they can only help so much, right? Cool. What about you, Sophia? If there was, I don't know, anything you could encourage them or tell them about maybe to have them join or be part of it?
Well, I would say that we're a pretty like close-knit club, and we're all working together for like a good cause,
Right.
trying to benefit our school community. And I would say that it's definitely a good experience. I mean, you'll feel nice afterwards because you'll know that you created that positive, I guess.
Impacts?
Yes,
That's
the
the
word.
right. Yeah.
Positive impact on our community. And I think if you're somebody, especially like that's interested in like caring for the environment and are willing to connect with like other students and teachers on, I guess, the same idea, I mean, it's really nice, I guess, trying to work towards that common goal of coming to like a greener tomorrow.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
I love the way you use all these words. They're so like eco-friendly words. Awesome. Okay, just 2 more questions for the both of you, and then we'll start to wrap up. Well, I think we're doing good for time, right? Our crew there behind the scenes, I think we're doing okay. That's good. Yeah, we got good timing. All right, last 2 questions. We'll start with you first, Sophia. Have you drawn any inspiration from anyone? So how many years have you been part now of Eco Council?
So I recently joined actually at the beginning of this year.
Oh, okay, so just this year.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm very like, again, like with the planting and
Yes,
everything,
yes.
that's what drew me to this.
That's your main thing, okay, that you
Um,
love.
And yeah,
Anyone inspire you, student, teacher, in the sense of you see maybe how passionate they are, and that's in a sense made you more passionate or want to be more attentive and
Well,
responsible for the environment, or yeah?
yeah, well, I would say all three leader teachers that are involved.
Cool.
I mean, I've had Deferia and Mr. Eusebio
Yeah.
in biology,
Oh,
so
cool.
I've finished my biology credits, and just like their personality and just like the way that they're like welcoming
Mm-hmm.
into this council has been really like appreciative.
Yeah.
And Emily, of course, yes,
Oh, that's
yes.
awesome. That's awesome. I will say yes. I agree. Eusebio de Feria, even Iozo. Just like really gentle, kind people, and I mean that gentle souls. Like I think of Eusebio, I got wind that he would be either in the greenhouse or next to it, and so I said, "Hey, is it okay if we come up and we're just gonna do a little recording?" And he was so gracious and just first of all that we would come to the greenhouse, right? But also just to say, if there's anything you need, you let me know, right? So yeah, they're certainly awesome. What about you, Emily? Anyone in particular maybe inspired you, or anything made you want to do something more or get more involved or continue to be more involved?
I mean, again, I joined in grade 9, but, actually because of my sister initially. So,
Oh, okay, yes.
yeah, at the time it was still being run by Miss Morera, who's no
Oh,
longer
okay.
here. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to branch out and get a little more into the community of St. Michael's.
Cool. Do you guys have, so when you say council, would you guys have specific roles on the council as well? Like, are there, I don't know, like, not to be all technical, like presidents, media, stuff like that, or is it just council overall as an overarching name?
I would definitely consider it more overarching.
Okay,
I think
perfect.
some people tend to take on more specific roles,
Right,
like creative
right,
roles or making
right.
posters, but
Yeah.
there's nothing super rigid about it.
Okay, cool. Awesome. So it is, in fact, very welcoming. Open to join at any time, right? Even if you can't always make meetings, for example. And I'm sure there's lots to do, lots of cleanup, lots of planting, etc. Okay, this is the last question, and it's for both of you. I'll start with you, Vu, and then we'll finish with Sophia. And this question, all right, well, perfect. We're perfect timing. This question is not anywhere on the script. This is just my question. Oh, you should see. If I wish you could come through the screen right now. They are so nervous about what could Bernardi potentially ask. But you don't have to be nervous because I ask this question at every podcast, okay? And it's so open-ended. You could answer it as you wish. So, Vu, we'll start with you. If you had an audience right now, which you kind of do, of thousands of kids, thousands of young people, and you could share a message with them, maybe it's a message of hope, maybe it's a lesson, maybe it's a story, what would you want to tell young people? If you had an audience of young people right now, what would you share with them? It's open-ended. Doesn't have to be equal counsel. This is wide open. We really want to allow you the opportunity to share that.
I think it's important to just care about something. It doesn't matter if it seems trivial,
Love that.
but because it gives you a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
It gives you a reason to do something. And I always find that to be important in my motivation to do other things as well.
Again, you've said like these words, responsibility, purpose, right? I agree with you. I think there's so many young people today that for whatever reason lack purpose, or maybe they feel that they're not good enough or don't have anything to share. And being part of a group like Eco Council where you can maybe find gifts, discover gifts about yourself, suddenly there becomes a purpose, right? And you drive with that. That's beautiful. Awesome. Sophia, if you had an audience of young people, and we're talking thousands, Sophia, there's thousands over there. And there's parents too, but this message is for our young people. What would you share with them? What would you want to tell them?
Well, I think we're known as like stewards of the land,
Right.
and like yeah, it's like a responsibility, but it's also a choice to take care of our earth and wanting to make it a better place. And I think that it's been really like an illuminating experience being in this council because well, like you start to have like an appreciation for the environment, or continue to have an appreciation for the environment, and it allows you to realize that like even if it's a small change, it can make a big difference and benefit like future generations and our overall school environment positively.
So small change, big difference, right? So
Yes.
true. Because if you look at the world, and there's so many challenges in our world today, right? If you just look at it, it's overwhelming. You almost think, I can't do this. What am I going to do? But small change. What was it again? Small changes.
Small changes, big difference.
Big difference. Love that. Beautiful. Well, I want to thank for this podcast, this wonderful podcast. I want to thank both Sophia and Emily for joining us on another episode here of Strike Up the Conversation, which is part of our larger podcast series of Resurrection Voices. It's always inspiring, really, to hear our students, how they live out their faith, how they're so involved in their community, and how they want to be involved in their community. So whether that be through sports, whether that be on the stage, through drama, or our fashion show, which we recently had, whether it's in the classrooms, behind the scenes, sometimes we don't always forget, but we sometimes forget there are always people behind the scenes. Like in this podcast, we have two beautiful students behind the scenes leading us. So whatever it is that you're involved in, you truly embody what it means to be part of the Thunder family, as both of you do. And we will continue to do that. We will continue to raise our voices. We will continue to celebrate our diversity here at St. Michael. So until next time, I'm Mr. Minardi, your host. It was a pleasure to be with you here again today. And again, we look forward to you following us. We will produce our podcast, or we send out our podcast both on Instagram and YouTube, so look for that. And until next time, we, again, thank you, Emily. Thank you, Sophia. Thank you to our crew. We love you, St. Mike's. Keep up the great work. Keep getting involved. We'll see you next month.